Selamun Aleyküm. انشالله که حالا احوال شما خوب باشه. اه، سلامت باشید انشالله، هم شما هم خانواده. I hope you are well and in good health, you and your family. Uh, this is another session of Advanced Operating System. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Uh, in this session, I'm going to complete the first topic, which is distributed systems and introducing distributed systems. And inshallah, after that, I'm going to start a new topic for this session, which talking about cluster computing. Okay, so I'm good, thank you, Saif. Thank you so much. Alaikum assalam. Alaikum assalam. Alaikum assalam. Huda, Haydar, Said. The distributed system is a system which consists of some machines which are connected through network. This system has advantage in comparison with centralized system, okay, because of its advantage. We prefer to use distributed system. The scientists or the world try to improve the ability of distributed systems and introduce some types of distributed system according to the needs and requirements for different environments. Okay, I introduced the distributed system and some type of distributed system in the previous sessions. And now, in this slide, you can see the distributed information system one, which is another type of distributed systems. Thank you, Ali. Good evening too. Okay, another type of distributed system is distributed information systems, including distributed database and enterprise systems. Okay, you can see one definition of this type of system, which is the vast amount of distributed system in use today are forms of traditional information systems and known to great legacy system. One of them is transaction process systems, or TPS. In this slide, you can see one example of a transaction. The transactions is important ability of database, and when we use a distributed database, okay, the transaction should be spread, should be distributed over some machines or some server machines. Oh, I forget, Ali. Thank you. Okay. Is there any translator? Safe. Translate. Okay, safe. Sorry. Um,
Good
you
afternoon,
can
sir.
talk safe up to now. You can do
Okay,
okay.
you can continue. It's easy for me to translate after you.
Okay, safe. Uh, One type of distributed systems is a distributed database, and the transactions, the database consists of uh, many transactions. These transactions in distributed database should spread over some machines. Um, in this figure, you can see uh, one example of transaction. You can see the transaction, the inputs of transaction was the server, and it's the name of transaction. In this transaction, the first statement is read. Uh, by using this statement, we can read these data, the data from the file one, and the data which is read from the file one is written on file two by using this statement, by using the write statement. And after that, the third statement is modify. By using this function, we can change the data and uh, create new data. This data by using the if statement, check. Okay, if the data is wrong, the transaction should abort. Okay, by using this statement, the abort the transaction, and you know that the state of database uh, return to the previous state before executing this statement, this transaction. And if the new data is not wrong, the new data which is created should write on the file too by using this write statement. And after that, you can see the end of transaction. This transaction is finished by using this
Uh,
statement.
okay, sir.
Okay, so if you can talk about
في
this slide. Okay.
كما يتم التصور بشكل عام بأنه العلماء أو متخصصي أنظمة الكمبيوتر ما يسعون دائما إلى تطوير النظم الموزعة أو الأنظمة الموزعة بشكل مستمر لمعالجة حالات مختلفة وحسب الحاجة من ذلك. حيث تم ذكر بأنه هناك الكثير من هذه الأنظمة التي تم التعامل معها بشكل جذري. نظام المنظور أمامنا هو مثال على ذلك، وهو Transaction Processing Systems، اللي هي تعتبر أنظمة معالجة المعاملات، حيث أن الكم الهائل من الأنظمة الموزعة والمستخدمة في يومنا هذا هي أشكال من أنظمة المعلومات التقليدية والتي تدمج الأنظمة القديمة. بالحديث عن المثال الظاهر أمامنا هو تصوير لشكل من أشكال قواعد البيانات، حيث يتوجب أن يكون ويتعامل مع بعض الإحداثيات المكتوبة على شكل خوارزمية منظمة لترتيب أوامر وإعازات لتنفيذ غرض معين. لو تلاحظون أنه هذه الخوارزمية تبدأ ببيجن ترانزاكشن، اللي هو يتعامل مع عملية معالجة لمعامل من خلال سيرفر. بعد ذلك يتم قراءة الملفات من الملف الأول والبيانات، ثم يتم طباعة تلك الملفات والبيانات من خلال دالة اللي هي new data. يتم التعامل بدالة if الشرطية التي تعطينا خطأ في حال إنه كان يوافق المعادلة المطروحة بالأبروت. ما عدا ذلك سوف يتم طرح الملف أو طباعة الملف الثاني. بعد ذلك يتم الانتهاء من بعد ذلك يتم الانتهاء من عملية الإف. Okay, sir. Uh, sorry, sir. Please, if you don't mind, when I'm translate, you can turn off your speaker because it is effect on my sound. I think that. Okay, sir. Thank
Uh,
you.
okay, safe. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, uh, okay, Qasem, I turn off my microphone. Okay. When safe is talking, I turn off my microphone. Um, Uh, we know the transaction should have some, each transaction should have some characteristics, some properties. A transaction is a collection of operation on the state of an object. Okay, you know that in the database is the object can be database or object composition that satisfy the following properties. The ACID. These are four properties that each object should satisfy these properties. What are ACID properties? What do A, C, I, and D represent? A transaction is a collection of operation on the state of an object. We know that. Okay. Uh, These are four properties of each transaction. We know that all operations, first of all, is atomicity. All operations either success or all of them fail. When the transaction fails, the state of object will remain unaffected by the transaction. Okay, it's called atomicity. Consistency. The transaction establishes a valid state transition. Valid state transition. We know that by performing each transaction, the state of database change to the newest state, and we know that the newest state should be valid. This does not exclude the possibility of invalid intermediate states during the transaction execution. Isolation is the third property. Concurrent transactions don't interfere with each other. It appears to each transaction T that other transaction occur either before T or after T, but never both. And finally is durability. After the execution of a transaction, its effects are made permanent, changed to the state survival. Okay, these are four properties which should be in each transaction.
Okay, sir. الحديث عن النموذج أو بالنسبة للترانزاكشن لديه مجموعة من الخصائص والميز التي سوف يتم التطرق إليها، حيث أن المعاملة بالنسبة للترانزاكشن هي عبارة عن مجموعة من العمليات على حالة كائن، سواء تكون قاعدة بيانات، تكوين كائن إلى آخره، والتي تفي بالخصائص التالية والتي اختصارها هي ال ACID، مختصرة لأربع كلمات اللي هي الأولى Automaticity، التي تعتبر الأولى، أما أن تنجح جميع العمليات أو تفشل جميعها. عندما تفشل المعاملة ستظل حالة الكائن غير متأثرة بالمعامل. الثانية اللي هي Consistency اللي هي الاتساق، بما معناه المعاملة تؤسس حالة انتقال صالحة والتي لا يستبعد فيها احتمال وجود حالات وسيطة غير صالحة أثناء تنفيذ المعاملة. الايزوليشن العزل أو العزلة، والتي تكون فيها المعاملات متزامنة لا تتداخل مع بعضها البعض، حيث بالمثال يبدو لكل معامل تي أن المعاملات الأخرى تحدث أما قبل تي أو بعده، ولكن تحدث ولكن قطعا أو من المستحيل أن تحدث كلها مطلقا أو يعني في نفس التوقيت. الأخيرة الديبيلوتي اللي هي اللي بمعنى المتانة أو الرصانة بعد تنفيذ المطلوب من عملية المعاملة، تكون تصبح آثارها دائمية، أي تغييرات في مجال ثابت تكون فيها، وتقلل من عملية أو تنجي من عملية الإخفاقات عفوا أو الفشل. أوكي.
Okay, thank you. When we talk about the distributed systems, okay, we know that we know the data is spread over some machines. Okay, so distributed database consists of some servers. These servers are used to store data. Okay, so the data are spread over some servers. And in this state, we know we need to use TP Monitor, a special module which have information about the data and the location which which each record and data is stored. The TP Monitor is responsible to get requests from the client applications, and okay, the TP Monitor find appropriate server which consists of appropriate data according to the request, send the request to the selected server, and the server is used to execute the transaction and the request, and okay, the result return by the reply to the TP Monitor, and TP Monitor send back reply to the client application. Okay. In many cases, the data involved in a transaction is distributed across several servers. A TP Monitor is responsible to coordinating the execution of a transaction. Saif, please talk about this slide.
بالحديث عن الجزء الآخر واللي تمثل ب Transaction Processing Monitor، حيث أن الملاحظ في كثير من الحالات يتم توزيع البيانات المتضمنة في المعاملة عبر عدة خوادم. جهاز التي بي مونيتور يكون مسؤول عن تنفيذ المعاملة، في طلب معاملة رد الخادم، يتم ذلك من خلال طلبات بالنسبة للتي بي اي والريكوست كلاينت، وعملية المراقبة أثناء سير التطبيق بالنسبة للخوادم، والطلب والرد وطباعة الأوامر بعد الدخول للسيرفر. إذا تلاحظون أمامنا بأن العملية تبدأ بتطبيق من قبل العميل، يكون هنالك طلب يدخل لنظام التي بي مونيتور، يصير فيها ريبلاي، ريكوست ريبلاي أيضا بالنسبة للخادم، بعد ذلك يتم طباعة الأوامر وإظهارها على الشاشة. أوكي سر.
Okay, Saif. Is the TP Monitor used in application that contain a single transaction?
Good afternoon.
Good evening. Okay.
Actually, I have a question, doctor. Based on what factor the TB monitor is coordinate the request to the server?
Yes. Okay, what's your question?
My question is, the client application is sent actually, if you could close the mic, actually, I heard my voice echo, so make me confused. Thank you so much. The client application is send request to TP monitor. So the TP monitor is based on what factor is send the request to the servers. So he said it like it's a broadband for the old servers, and waiting for the reply to the single process, the single servers that it's mean by sending the request, or it or it's recoordinate or reroute the request to the exact server that it has been meant. Thank you so much.
Uh, the TP monitor is a component which have the information of all data, because the data, we know that the data in distributed database, sometimes it can be huge, and we know that this data should separate into a different partition, and these partitions need to store on different servers. Okay, we know that. So according to some policies, it's there are different policies. Okay, it can be by using the key, by using the hash of key, by using, okay, different policies are introduced for this for TP monitor, and okay, by using the special policy, the TP monitor can find appropriate server for each request. Sometimes the request is a transaction that need to use some tables, for example, and each table can store on different location, on different servers. Okay, it's possible, but the TP monitor is responsible to find appropriate servers and reroute the request to toward the selected server. And okay, so if I want to talk about this the TP monitor, we need to use some another documentation, another resources, but overall, if I want to talk about TP monitor in general, we can see uh, uh, different policies are defined for TP monitor, and according to the selected policy, the TP monitor can find appropriate server for each request. I hope you got it, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you for your clarification.
You're welcome. Mustafa, do you have any question about TP monitor, or is clear for you? You I'm sorry, I turn off the microphone. Um, Another distributed information system is enterprise application integration. Uh, you can see in this figure there are some server-side applications and some client applications. There are communication middleware between these applications, the communication middleware is responsible to route each request toward the server application to server-side application. Okay, different server-side application are exist, and the communication middleware is responsible to find a proper server-side application for each request of client application. All of an existing application to directly exchange information using communication middleware. Middleware as a communication facilitator in enterprise application integration. Okay, I think that's enough. Saif, you can talk about this.
اوكي سو الآن نتحدث عن تطبيق اندماج المشاريع، حيث يتم السماح للتطبيقات الحالية بتبادل المعلومات مباشرة باستخدام البرمجيات الوسيطة للاتصالات. الوسيط يعتبر أو يعمل كمسير للاتصال في تكامل التطبيقات التي تكون مطلوبة من قبل. لو تلاحظون أمامكم إنه العملية كالتالية: لدينا تطبيقات عميل Client Application تمر بحلقة وسطية أو اتصال وسطي Communication Middleware. بعد ذلك يتم الاتصال بالسيرفر جانب تطبيقي بالنسبة للخادم، ثم يتم عرض النتائج المطلوبة وطباعتها. اوكي سو
Another type of distributed systems is sensor networks. And sensor networks, inshallah, in this course, I introduce the sensor networks in general, but you can learn the details of sensor network in the advanced networks, similar to the in this degree. One course is advanced database. In the advanced database, you can learn something, some components, something about the advanced, about the distributed database, and another course in advanced networks. In advanced network, you can learn the sensor networks in details, inshallah. Usually when the professor talk about the IoT, and you know that the sensor networks is the infrastructure which is used for IoT, Internet of Things. We know that the sensor networks consists of some nodes. The nodes to which sensors are attached are many and simple and often battery power. This network consists of many nodes, many sensors, and these sensors usually are simple, small memory, compute, communication capacity, and often there are battery power or sometime or even batteryless. A batteryless sensor gets its energy by stealing it from its environment. This is called energy harvesting. You can see in this figure there are some sensors, and this sensor, this simple sensor, is responsible to sense the its environment and find some events, some special events which are defined for these sensors. And okay, when they get the events, the special events, okay, they are responsible to get data toward the base station, Um, the functions which are defined for this sensor are simple and usually by using the three layers, three network layers, they are responsible to